Ashley, what is our first email today?
First one up is from Regan Sims. Are you hyped for the new Witcher show? Also, do you think this will break the video game to film curse? And do you think it will be as big as Game of Thrones? P.S. Just started watching the show, and now it's my go-to channel for movie topics.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Regan. We really appreciate that. Well, let's start with this. We all know that Witcher is coming. Henry Cavill, who was so good as Superman in Man of Steel in the DC cinematic universe, he is playing the lead character, and there you go. A lot of people excited. I believe it. Where was it coming again? Was it an Amazon or Netflix? I can't remember now. I think it's Netflix, or maybe it's Amazon. I can't remember. One of the two. But anyway, it's coming. Now, first thing we should probably address here that a bunch of people are screaming at their computer screens right now about is that technically speaking, Witcher isn't a video game adaptation. Technically speaking, it's based on the books. Because I believe that I've never read that I really don't know anything about, but it's based on a series of books, and that's what the video game is based on. And from what I understand, they are more basing this new show on the stories as opposed to basing it on the video game. So there will be some people who correctly will say it's not a video game adaptation. I would argue that while they are absolutely correct, that what most people who have heard of Witcher, the way they've heard it was because of the video game. So from a perception point of view, and perception is not always correct, but from a perception point of view, to a lot of people, it is a video game adaptation. So I could totally see why you would suggest that and ask that. Rob, let me ask you this. Do you think, now that we're kind of they've been shooting this thing for a while now, we've got Henry Cavill in the role, they've locked it in. Do you think a show like this could rival that of something like Game of Thrones? But more importantly, could this finally be, because we talked about it with Warcraft and that didn't work out. We talked about it with Assassin's Creed and that didn't work out. We talked about it with Tomb Raider and that didn't work out. We've been waiting for a video game story to come along that can break that curse and give us something that everybody loves that's based on a video game property, even if indirectly so, as in the situation with Witcher. Do you think this could be that? Do you think it could get the heights of Lord of the Rings? Where do you see the possibilities for something like this?
Well, I'm always optimistic when anything comes from literary source material, because for the most part, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, or in the case of multiple books, an ongoing storyline. And if this is truly, it's an episodic show. So the fact that the problem with video game adaptations is video games are not drama. They're the cutscenes are inherently set up to move a story along, so you, the gamer, can continue playing. And that's not to say games like The Last of Us don't have compelling stories. But when you have a book to look back on, look at The Expanse. The Expanse is a great science fiction series. It's based on a series of 8 novels. They know where they're going. They're basically doing a novel. So with The Witcher show, to have that storytelling background to build the show on gets me really excited. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I
don't know if it's going to be Thrones great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and that is the tendency of us as fans, right? We go instantly, oh, there's a new cop, or there's a new movie about a guy in the mob. Will it be as good as The Godfather? I mean, we instantly, there's a new comic book movie. Will it be as good as The Dark Knight? I mean, that's what we do, right? That's what we all do. We jump that thing, and I think you raised a great point. Let's not worry about whether it's as good as Game of Thrones. Let's not even worry about that. Let's start with step one. Let's start with, will it be good?
Right.
Let's just let it be good.
It's kind of like how I worry about New Line's announced Hello Kitty movie. There's no literary background for a Hello Kitty movie. There's just, fun little places to put your pencils and toasters and stuff. How are they going to make a Hello Kitty movie relevant? They have no story to follow. Witcher does. Witcher could be great.
Yeah, but Lego didn't have a story to follow either, and they just made one up. And by the way, if you guys don't know what he's talking about Hello Kitty, stay tuned for the movie news feed that's coming up a little bit later in the show, because we're going to give you a little bit more details on that as well.